The president traveled to Ohio, a key battleground state ahead of the midterms. He celebrated the groundbreaking of a new $20 billion Intel semiconductor facility. And he touted the $280 billion Chips and Science Act.
The future of the chip industry is going to be made in America. Made in America. Folks at home should know the manufacture of these semiconductors connects countless small businesses.
First of all, Kevin McCarthy and the House Republicans are demanding a new bill to be passed soon. The Biden administration has already planned meetings to finally reach an agreement. A new group of lawmakers could also move to force the government to resign and unspend the federal crisis. Now, this can mean cuts to funding for specific relief programs. And what I mean by this is that Kevin McCarthy is going to travel to the New York Stock Exchange for a speech. He's potentially going to set the stage for the next round of debt limit negotiations between House Republicans and the White House, Kevin McCarthy. Now, with lawmakers returning to Washington, D.C. next week, a possible bet, everybody, is that he will try to use it to convince Wall Street that the White House is on debt dealing the debt ceiling and raising the odds for an unprecedented default on U.S. Treasury debt. But so far, everybody, during an interview with Bloomberg News, Speaker McCarthy warned that financial markets in the U.S. should be worried that no deal will be struck. He stated, "We are never going to move a bill that raises just the debt ceiling." And what this means is that even though the White House has not budged from its demand that a debt ceiling boost has no conditions, it means that one of McCarthy's top supporters among House Republicans, that is, Representative Patrick McHenry, shared the same warning at another event. Representative McHenry said in late March he had never been more pessimistic about where we stand with the debt ceiling. Republicans may hope that dirty financial markets will bring financial debt to the table, but even as the White House would likely say that they would no longer be all the more reason to simply raise the debt ceiling unconditionally. And McCarthy can also unveil a new, more detailed list of demands the House Republicans want fulfilled before agreeing to boost the debt ceiling, putting some meat on their general idea that spending the rein as a condition is going to be good for the party. But Joe Biden has complained that Republicans haven't passed a budget resolution yet, even though that would not add much in the way of detail to the Republican stance and could influence McCarthy's standing among his fellow Republicans. So far, Kevin McCarthy has gotten a letter to President Biden asking for cutting the annual spending by agencies and on programs to pre-inflationary levels, resigning and rescinding unspent federal crisis aid and imposing additional work requirements for some federal benefits. Now, according to experts, McCarthy could also outline the House GOP's next bill and to try to restart negotiations. There have also been speculation that Republicans could try to move to a short-term boost in debt limit, and both, giving them time to agree on a package of demands that can pass with the narrow majority and to line up the other issue close to the end of the year fiscal government shutdown as on September 30th. This is when they have more leverage over the White House and when the Republicans will try to get things done for the American people. Now, in a way, this is a good thing for us, everybody, because it says that first of all, stimulus checks will be sent out faster than usual. And second of all, Joe Biden's ready for more stimulus. Because Americans could lose millions of jobs and be plunged into recession as soon as the summer. That's if Congress doesn't step up to financially address the debt ceiling. A report from the Joint Economic Committee in March said that Americans could lose $20,000 in retirement savings and private student loan borrowing.
Help for small businesses and, for the first time, money for states, cities, and municipalities. The Fed is also creating a municipal liquidity facility with up to $500 million in loans and $35 billion in credit protection to help manage cash flow.
Now, gas prices, folks, are beginning to spike in many states across the country, and the Biden administration has announced that it will actually be proposing a new plan to provide more relief to the millions of Americans that need the stimulus cash. So Democrats have proposed a new stimulus package. It is actually going to help households that are struggling to pay for housing and other bills. Now, Americans have noticed a significant gas price spike, followed by a drop and another spike as well. So while the average price of gas in the country is around $3, according to AAA, that price is much lower than a month ago. But still, we cannot deny the fact that President Biden has to send us stimulus payments due to inflation and the rising cost of living and so many other factors of life. A bigger concern right now might be diesel fuel, which helps power commerce, including many delivery trucks and trains. It brings holiday merchandise to homes and stores. Now, the Georgia governor decided to do this. It extended the suspension of the state's motor fuel tax for another month. The announcement comes this week after 2 executive orders from the governor. He signed the orders that extended the temporary suspension of the state motor fuel tax and extended the supply chain state of emergency. This week, a senator has also introduced the Gas Prices Relief Act. So these are not like stimulus payments though. The legislation and the bill would lower higher gas prices and deliver the much-needed economic relief to residents of New Hampshire. Now, the senator called on Joe Biden to take action to help lower energy costs by releasing oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Recently, Roy Blunt introduced a bipartisan bill to provide tax relief to middle-class homeowners that will permanently extend a tax deduction for homeowners as well. And getting shoppers to spend this holiday season is not going to be easy. A foundation found that around November-December, they expect a rise between 6 and 8% compared to last year. So as of December, everybody, inflation is up 8.2% from a year ago, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That is near a 4-decade high. Economists point to the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, which has also increased 5% from a year ago, as a more apt measure to reflect the rising consumer prices. The outlook comes after the crisis fueled 2 years of exceptional demand during the key holiday shopping season. In 2020, holiday sales rose 8% from the previous year. Last year, holiday sales grew 13.5%, and they totaled around $1 trillion. Now, new data indicates a more challenging holiday season for retailers. A year ago, consumers shopped early and spent more to secure gifts, as stores struggled to keep shelves stocked. However, major retailers, including Walmart, are swimming in extra inventory. One economist even told CNBC that Americans are still eager to spend this holiday season, but have become more cautious. Economists say that they are dipping into savings accounts and turning to credit cards as a way to pay for purchases. That's due to no stimulus payments. That's the problem, folks. Right now, lower and middle income consumers are just under more pressure as grocery, energy, and housing costs just continue to rise. Consumers do plan to spend an average of $832 a month on gifts and holidays such as decorations and food. That's roughly in line with the last 10 years on average. So we can see that President Biden has to do more for the American people and send out stimulus payments before it gets too late, because we realize the American people are in need of more stimulus payments right now. Plus, bonus stimulus money is being sent out. Nearly $1 billion has been already allocated towards a brand new wave of inflation. That's some good news. And plus, if you paid personal income taxes in the state of Massachusetts and filed your tax return by October, you'll get a percentage of the nearly $3 billion in tax refund stimulus money that the state is already sending out this month.
Thank you. Kamala and Doug, by the way, Doug crisscrossed the country. I think he did. He spent more time making sure that the folks who actually count the votes in these states do it honestly. And thank you, pal.